Okay, Buzz.
Tens of thousands of people in Mozambique are living in the bush with no shelter. They had moved here to higher ground to escape the floods in the south of the country, but the rainy season is far from over. Aid workers say there are 50,000 people here. There are two other camps nearby. One has 24,000 people, the other around 12,000. Amelia Kosa works for the Red Cross. It usually rains until the end of February here, she says. That's when there'll be more water. They are worried about more floods and don't want to return right away. Clara Mabunda and her family say there was so much water in the town of Shokwe, 20 kilometers away. Even though the area floods regularly, she still wants to go back. The soil is good there. When it doesn't flood, I can grow enough food to sell and feed my children. If I move, I won't be able to do that. My husband and I are unemployed. Communal toilets are in the bush. Water and food is brought in by aid agencies. There aren't enough tents for everyone, so priority is given to women, children, the elderly, and the disabled. As many as 20 people sleep in each one. The fear is if it keeps raining, many more families could be displaced, and conditions in camps already set up will go from bad to worse. Harry Mutasa, Al Jazeera, Shangalin, Mozambique. Moving down the coast of New South Wales, extreme weather conditions are still causing misery in eastern Australia. 2,500 people have been evacuated in the city of Grafton, and more than 1,000 have been rescued by helicopter across neighbouring state Queensland, with the city of Bundaberg experiencing severe flooding. The extreme weather system across eastern Australia is caused by the remnants of tropical cyclone Oswald.
Well, this is the flood of record for Grafton. It has never been in recorded history this high. I think you have to go back to the 1890s to actually get a flood that's around the 7.7 metre mark. So now nearly 8.1, the largest flood that Grafton has ever seen.
This time, flooding is not as bad as it was in 2010 to 11, when 35 people lost their lives and 30,000 properties were destroyed or damaged. Or is it too hard?
Just give us a wave.
One person has been killed in Cairo in a fifth day of protests directed at Egypt's President Mohamed Morsi. The president is being criticized by Egypt's main opposition coalition for declaring a state of emergency in 3 cities along the Suez Canal, and they've rebuffed Morsi's invitation for talks. The president's opponents accuse him of only listening to his Islamist allies, while Morsi says they are trying to overthrow Egypt's first freely elected leader. According to this protester, Morsi is not in charge of the country. The supreme guide of the Muslim Brotherhood is the one who actually makes all the decisions, he says. At least 50 people have lost their lives in this latest outbreak of violence. The president has taken a tough stance, saying force and firmness will be used to restore order. In a televised speech, Morsi said he had read the constitution before deciding to declare the state of emergency for 30 days in the 3 provinces of Port Said, Suez and Ismailia. All 3 will also have nightly curfews starting on Monday from 9 until 6 in the morning, according to the president. Port Said has seen the worst of the clashes since the weekend, with more than 30 deaths. The unrest has been exacerbated by death sentences given to 21 people involved in Egypt's worst incidents of violence at a football match, in which 74 people died at Port Said Stadium last February.
Protesters defy a nighttime curfew in Ismailia on the Suez Canal. They are ignoring the state of emergency declared by President Mohamed Morsi as he tries to stop the surge of violence that's claimed more than 50 lives. The army has been deployed here in Port Said as well as in Suez. The government has also agreed a measure to let soldiers arrest civilians. I've lost my son, this woman says. How can I get him back? He's sleeping now. None of this can bother him anymore. In Port Said, there are more ominous signs of just how far law and order has broken down. Here, a sniper hidden in a building targets people standing in the street. They're attacking us because we want truth and justice, he says. The officials who push for oppression, they only care about their position, not the blood of our martyrs. Euronews correspondent in Port Said, Mohammed Sheikh Ibrahim, says the atmosphere in the three Suez Canal cities is like a maelstrom, but is worse in Port Said. People say this is not about politics, but about revenge for the curfew and the football violence death sentences at the weekend.
Mohammed Sheikh Ibrahim, Euronews, Port Said.
A strong military presence on the streets of Cairo as the Egyptian army warns that the country is close to collapse. With Egypt in the midst of a political crisis marked by bloody street protests, Army Chief General Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has warned that political strife could lead to the collapse of the state. It comes a year after the revolution that ended the army's rule and brought President Mohamed Morsi to power. Morsi held a meeting with political leaders late on Monday in an attempt to make progress, but key opposition group the National Salvation Front refused to attend. More than 50 people have been killed in a week of disorder throughout the country. Morsi's government is also struggling to fix a teetering economy and prepare for parliamentary elections. Tourism, one of Egypt's key industries, is being battered by the ongoing unrest. This man describes an attempted siege on the Semiramis Intercontinental Hotel. We discovered some assailants breaking through the entrance and we went to the police, who came and fired tear gas, he says. As the country faces economic, political and social turmoil, Military Chief Sisi has stressed that the army will remain the solid block on which Egypt rests.